It is now right around 5:15 p.m. on Thursday, September 18th, 2025. I left a voicemail for the Greenville Group approximately 40 minutes ago, letting them know that while I was lying on my bed between 3:30 this afternoon and 4:40 when I left the voicemail, their paid career criminal fixer slash resident sex offender slash IT expert had once again resumed the use of a directed energy device to electronically assault me throughout the entire time that I was lying on my bed. I also called the E13 police station shortly before 5 p.m. to ask them what they do to protect members of the unsuspecting public from electronic assaults by bad actors using lasers and laser-like devices. This isn't science fiction. This is something that is widely documented in the news where people are at like some kind of a concert or out in public and they get like somebody shines a laser in their eyes or they start getting harassed by lasers and you can't find who's using the laser because you can use a laser from quite a distance and not be able to see who is using the laser. So the Boston Police, Officer Martinez specifically, who answered the main number non-emergency at the E13 station, had no idea what I was talking about. When I said, what is the Boston Police doing to protect unsuspecting members of the public from being harassed and assaulted by bad actors using lasers on unsuspecting members of the public, he said, lasers? What are lasers? And I said, LASERS. They were invented approximately 80 years ago. They've been around for a while. And he's like, ma'am, I can't give out that information. I was like, wait a second. You can't tell me what the Boston Police does and does not investigate, what the Boston Police Department does and does not do to protect members of the public from various types of crimes. And he's like, let me transfer you. Wow. So they have no idea what lasers are, or they obviously don't know that lasers can be used as weapons and that lasers can be freely used by anybody because you don't have to have a permit to get a laser and you can purchase them anywhere pretty much. Okay, that's a fact. So dear idiots, I'm not crazy. You're just stupid. In the meantime, I'm sitting in my bathroom right now because I continue to be electronically assaulted by Jasmine Irizarry's use of a laser. It's a laser that emits electromagnetic output instead of light, but it's still a laser. It's exactly the same thing. The only difference between an EMF emitting device and a laser is that a laser technically emits light and an EMF emitting device emits EMFs. And now I'm getting harassed just sitting here on the toilet. So something is going on. This piece of shit, Jasmine Irizarry, has also been violently slamming and banging things directly below this unit from Unit 76 for the last 45 minutes. She started getting violent at approximately 4:45 p.m., just after I had left a voicemail for the Greenville Group. And because the Greenville Group are the ones sponsoring and paying Jasmine Irizarry to engage in the use of a laser that goes through walls, so it's an EMF emitting laser, not a light emitting laser, then they are the ones who are perpetuating this constant aggressive physical assault and harm to my person while I happen to simply be lying on my bed trying to take a nap after a very long day. I started my day at well before 6:30 a.m., didn't go to bed until 2 because I had some tasks to be completed for my employer, and I have the right to rest on my bed. But Irizarry, who has bragged that she's getting paid a lot of money to use a EMF emitting laser, has resumed her use of a directed energy device. And this is happening right now, even as I'm standing right here, which means that something is going on. It means that she has been given some kind of green light by her sponsors at the Greenville Group, Alex Kritnik and Oleg Eliseyev, among possible others, to continue to harass me, if not other tenants, using various types of electronic harassment methods, such as a laser, such as surveillance devices, such as electronic hacking of cell phones and laptops and interfering with the functioning of those cell phones and laptops, such as the use of a Wi-Fi blocker in this unit that I've been dealing with now for 2 weeks. And it usually stops when I send emails to the Greenville Group threatening to take them and their attorneys to court for lost income because they're interfering with my ability to get my work done for my employer when they block the Wi-Fi in this unit, but then the Wi-Fi is perfectly functional 15 feet outside of my door in the hallway on the same floor. You know, you get the picture here, right? All kinds of electronic harassment and crimes are being perpetuated against me, my activities, and my tenancy by the Greenville Group via their use of a criminally insane hacker, Jasmine Irizarry, whom Oleg Alissayev has repeatedly bragged to me, to my face, verbally telling me that she's such a talented hacker. She can hack into anything. She can take care of any problem. She can get into anything. Those are his exact words. When I was telling him she was remotely interfering with the functioning of all of the electronic devices that I try to use when I try to use them in this unit, specifically when I try to use those devices to report Jasmine Irizarry's own activities and to report unlawful negligence on the part of the Greenville Group to various agencies such as the Housing Court, such as attorneys, such as housing agents, such as the Boston Housing Authority, et cetera, et cetera. Do you get the picture here? Do you see what I'm saying? Do you see a pattern to what I'm saying? The Greenville Group are using an electronic criminal, a career electronic criminal, to engage in a variety of electronically based crimes against me and my person and my activities when I'm in the privacy of this living space that really isn't private, because obviously the only time that I ever have to report these nefarious acts is when the person perpetuating these nefarious acts has knowledge of what I'm trying to do in the privacy of this living space and then tries to prevent me from doing it, such as when I'm lying on my bed trying to rest and there is the violent, aggressive use of a directed energy device to electronically assault me throughout the entire time that I'm lying on this bed. For those who think that Jasmine Irizarry is some sort of a imaginary person, she's not. She physically lives in this building and was also an inmate at the psychiatric hospital a mile and a half down the road from here back in 2006 when I was performing a clinical rotation as part of my PhD program's clinical training program at the Shattuck Hospital. Irizarry was an inmate. Even back then, she was known as a psychopath. She was, at the time, her homicidal activities were limited to trying to vomit on other staff and patients because she was HIV positive and carried a deadly virus that could contaminate other people through body fluids. So then Irizarry would compulsively vomit and smear her body fluids on other persons and staff, requiring staffers to wear protective gear around Jasmine Irizarry. And now she lives in this building. She didn't really go far in life, did she? Given that the Shattuck Hospital, where Irizarry was a psychiatric inmate back in 2006, is located barely a mile down Washington Street towards the Forest Hills T Station. Now she's been living in this building for 11 years and has been basically encouraged and permitted by Oleg Alissayev and Alex Kritnik to engage in a series of very harmful, unlawful criminal acts and activities towards my person and my tenancy on an ongoing basis since 2013, when they verifiably housed and placed Jasmine Irizarry in Unit 78 behind this wall, and where she continues to be permitted to access the premises in spite of the fact that Mr. Alissayev stated Jasmine Irizarry is no longer being housed in 78. He did confirm she continues to be housed in this building, and I received confirmation of that last night when I was standing at the bottom of the rear stairwell, waiting for all the psycho creeps to stop blocking the access to the doorways and entrances of this building so that I could leave. And Irizarry was standing somewhere in the hallway just at the top of the rear stairwell, laughing her unusual, extremely unique, and unreproducible hyena-like laugh that she has been unleashing in my direction for 11 years. Whenever she happens to be somewhere in my vicinity, she deliberately engages in this hyena-like laugh to let me know that she's not too far away.